that, I have to wait on it now. Basically, he walked away from it. He broke his promise. He broke his pledge. He said, we'll get to it maybe later on. He talked about building a wall to keep illegal immigrants out of the United States, primarily from Mexico. Now, whether you're for or against the wall, the fact of the matter is that this wall that he made a big deal, that was one of his fundamental promises, has been designed. They're looking at different designs, and nothing of significance has really happened with that either. Another major, major campaign promise was to undo the famous, infamous, whatever you want to call it, health care called Obamacare, named after our illustrious last president, tongue-in-cheek, tongue-in-cheek, tongue-in-cheek. Sorry if I'm showing my politics, but this is Radio Chutzpah.
He is an abomination.
Okay, fine. But named after him, Obamacare. And his own party, the Republican Party, at least it's supposed to be his own party, has 3 times now. That's not once. That's not twice. That is 3 times has not been able to do this. And healthcare is a mess in America. A lot of people can't afford it. Even with the insurance, it's inadequate. And something really needs to be done for the sake of the American people, not just for politics. And they can't get anything done. Again, Trump and the White House can point to the Congress, and Congress can point to the White House saying, well, they haven't really come up with a good proposal yet. Don't know. So Ashley Stephens definitely pointing me at what Charlene has to say. And she feels that Pence is worse. Okay, we have our first vote. First vote's in.
Our first opinion.
The first opinion, first vote is that she feels, Charlene feels that Mike Pence would actually be worse. Well, I would invite Charlene to quit, if she can, to just to ask why, just quickly, just a couple of reasons why she feels Mike Pence would actually be worse. I have some ideas in my mind what some people would say, but I don't want to put any ideas in your head. I'd like to hear from you just quickly, a couple of point of views from Charlene or anyone else out there, why Mike Pence would be worse. Now, my 2 cents on this, my 3 cents, my 5 cents, whatever you want to say, is that Mike Pence actually has some experience in running the executive branch of the state of Indiana. He was governor for 4 years. Donald Trump has none. Now, a lot of people have always said, and this is what I was worried about with Donald Trump from the very beginning. Again, I supported him. I am not a Trump hater. I am now dealing purely with facts and with record and with accomplishment or not. From a managerial business point of view, is that he never really had any real governmental experience.
To say the least.
His claim to fame is his celebrity through reality, quote-unquote, TV, through the real estate empire that he built upon his father's company that his father, by the way, started. For those, bless you, Ashley. His father started the Trump company, and he built upon it. He expanded it greatly, but his father, Fred Trump, did start it. And it's not enough, I think, to be popular on reality TV or to be able to even run a business. It's not the same as running the United States government. It's not the same as being the chief executive of the United States government. A lot of people said, he's a chief executive. He's a CEO of a lot of different companies and enterprises. It's just not the same as being the president of the United States. And I think this is showing. The other thing that we have, I feel that this is a serious problem with, is the people he picked. Now, the bottom line is Harry Truman, a famous past president of the United States at the end of World War II, had a sign on his desk that the buck stops here. What does that mean? The buck stops here. That means the president is responsible for what goes on in the government, and he's certainly responsible for the decisions made that come out of the White House. Well, when he picked his cabinet, President Trump, he picked lots of people who he should have known and probably was told could be very problematic, as in Mr. Flynn and others, who are now embroiled in congressional inquiries, controversies, possible scandals, and so forth. This has made his government even less effective because he's having to put out fires and he's having to be a fireman. Instead of a doer, he has to put out a fire. And maybe he's even shooting people at the same time. Ashley's having fun with the control board here.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Don't mind if I do.
So there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of concern that I think people should have who are free-thinking, open-thinking people, whether you be right-wing, left-wing, no-wing, ostrich, head in the sand, whatever you want to be, whatever you want to call yourself, is to look at, okay, what has he done? What has he accomplished? Where are we heading? And we have serious issues to deal with, not just in the United States, but globally. Now, of course, I personally am very concerned and interested in what's going on as an American citizen, as an Israeli resident and citizen, and as a citizen of the world, of the globe, because what the United States does and doesn't do basically will affect in many ways, sometimes severely, God forbid, fatally, what happens to most or all of the world. We have the situation with Russia and Syria, Iran, North Korea. That is a huge to-do internationally. Locally, domestically in the United States is the problem with health care, with the budget, with meaningful employment, which is a topic for a whole other show because I could go on and on about that, and I only have limited time. So it's really vexing to me, and I hope and I think to a lot of you about what's really going on and what should be done. If, as our lovely listener Charlene has pointed out, that you feel that Mike Pence, Vice President Mike Pence, will actually be worse, I guess that is a reason to complain or bitch or moan about Trump, but not try to get rid of him.
Or to say that President Trump, that Trump causes all the bad weather and that he's responsible for all the horrible things in the world. I mean, please. I mean, what are you, 5 years old?
And I do have to add in that, I think that is really absurd and actually lame and pathetic that people would blame Trump or Santa Claus, for hurricanes and for tornadoes.
It's just beyond preposterous.
And for floods and so forth.
And
those
are
Charlene
civic... would agree with us. And Charlene would agree with us.
I'm pretty sure
she has told me that she feels the same way, that it's ridiculous to do that. Sorry, I had a phone call. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Shit happens. Shit happens.
So anyway, I want to remind you that you're listening to Radio Chutzpah. This is Kerry Zayas, your host, with my able assistant, the one and only Ashley 7 at the control board, and with her little jibes. And we're broadcasting live. That's right, live. It's live, not Memorex. It's live from beautiful downtown Ra'anana in Israel. And we welcome your participation. If you're listening to us, you'll see that there's a comment or chat feature. I don't know exactly how it's labeled, where you can chat, text, whatever you want to call it, and we can react to it interactively and live. Or you can call us, which is what we prefer, since it is a talk show. We'd like to talk with you, and we use Skype. It's free from anywhere in the world where you have access to Skype, and you can Skype us at radio. That's RADIO, second word, chutzpah, CHUTZPAH. That's Radio Chutzpah on Skype. We can interact with us live. So Mike Pence, Vice President, would he be better than Trump? Is he an alternative to Trump? We've already had a caller, and I've heard from other people, not well during the show, that, Mike Pence will be worse. So don't try to get rid of Trump because it'll be worse. I've spoken to others again that on the show who said anyone's better but Trump, Mike Pence included. Get rid of him. I have other people, and this is from your host as well, who's starting to lean to think that for the sake of the country, for the good of the country, meaning the United States, and for the sake of where we live in Israel, and for maybe the rest of the world, that perhaps he should just resign as gracefully as possible and turn over the government, the White House, to Mike Pence, because it's my opinion, sorry to go counter to our listener Charlene, is that I believe Mike Pence might indeed be a better president. Why? Why is because I believe that Mike Pence has better temperament, has better judgment, and has better experience to allow himself to be truly more of a leader. And that is what's really missing, I think, with Donald Trump.
Exactly. And may I also just say this, that I also, I believe that people need to, this is just my opinion of it, I believe that people need to stop judging a person's ability to be president by what their personal beliefs are. Like, let's say if they're not a big fan of a certain group of people or whatever, I just think that we need to stop judging someone and labeling them as a being a no good president or a no good leader, no good anything, purely just because of their personal views. I think that is beyond outrageous. Like, yeah,
I have to interrupt Ashley 7.
What's
I am so bad. I did not have the Skype on. For all of those who have been trying to call us, I apologize.
Shit.
I had a we had a big, as my daughter likes to say, a big fail.
Big
fail.
Fail.
We had a big fail here. I sorely apologize. If you have been trying to call us at Skype, I really apologize. My bad, my idiocy, my lameness is that the Skype started itself off. I did not see that. And if you've been trying to connect us at Skype, that is why you have not been able to get through. So again, if you've been trying, and if not, try now or try for the first time, we are available at Skype at Radio Chutzpah. Skype Radio Chutzpah. That is RADIO. Second word, Chutzpah. CHUTZPAH. Again, Skype at Radio Chutzpah. RADIO. CHUTZPAH. And if you've been trying to get through to us and couldn't, that is why, and I sincerely apologize about that. And my able assistant is putting our Skype address in the chat box so you can see it in case you have trouble spelling it or understanding my New York accent, which I guess is still there after 15 years in Israel.
And Charlene had some sort of, was it neck or shoulder surgery? She had to have this.
Charlene, we wish you a full recovery. As in Hebrew, it's called a refuah shlema. May you fully recover and be better and stay better than ever. Bless you.
Yes, and you're like family. You're like family to me. So I really hope the pain will go away very soon. And I do love you. I love you, Char. I do love you.
Yeah, we really do wish her well. Everyone out there who might be ill, we do wish everyone to be well and to stay well. After all, health is next to peace. Is the most important thing that a person can have, that anybody can have. Okay, I just saw Charlene texted us that PENCE supports electroshock therapy on gay children. That seems pretty extreme. I've never seen that. If you've heard that, I think it might be a rumor. I'd be very happy to see a link which can sort of support that, because I think that's a very strong statement. I will say he is not gay friendly. No, he is not. But as Ashley 7 was saying, that perhaps we shouldn't judge a candidate just on one issue. Now, what you wrote about Pence forcing electroshock therapy on anybody, gay, straight, child, adult, old person, is very fascist in its bottom line, and that is something, of course, to not want somebody for. But I have not seen him about that.
Now this thing, okay, I'm gonna just take over, just to add this in, sorry. We have this, it's cute and it's cool, but it's a small space, so we sometimes struggle. We're practically eating each other's face. I'm kidding. But anyway, what I wanted to say, Charlene